All right, good day to everybody. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all. I just want to be able to get this out real quick. My thoughts, and I know you guys probably already heard the news about moving Jaylon Smith from the Mike linebacker to the outside edge. Look, here's how you should play Jaylon Smith from the jump. He's versatile in a sense where he can play the middle and he can play on the outside edge. With that being said, this guy got the ability, he got some pass rush moves. Let me repeat, he got some pass rush moves. And he got a good dip, a good bend, good separation, and he knows how to extend his arms to create that separation, and he does not allow the opposition to get inside his chest. I think that the Cowboys should have been already experimenting with that. I think that I think that his height, his speed, if his neck is okay, he can play a good deed or a great deed at middle linebacker. He got the height, he got the speed, he got the awareness. So it's just one of those things where it's on the defensive side of the ball where you still have Jaylon Smith to call the plays. Yeah, he can still set up. It does not matter in this particular defense. And on top of that, I love to have the opposition thinking on their heels. Let me repeat, I love to have the opposition thinking on their heels, meaning that they don't know who's the Mike. They don't know who's coming or going. They don't know who's dropping back in coverage. So all of this stuff should have been done years ago, but now that they're doing it now or talking about it is a good thing. Matter of fact, I'm lying. It's a great thing. It's a flat out great thing. Chidobe Awuzie moving to safety if possible, or just kicking him out of that particular side of the ball as it relates to cornerback play. Slide him into slot sometime. Move him back at strong safety. Not play him at free because we got enough of those dogs already out there. So that's when we talking about moving him into safety. It's more so to moving him at that strong safety spot. I think that he can play that right there. I really think that Chido, if you look at his college film, he can play at that safety role. He may not want to, or he may say he would like to, but don't want to, whatever that groove may be. But I'm looking at this team as everybody got to play a pivotal role in this new defense. Everybody know I've been talking about defense for a long time. We didn't go out there and invest in a guy with the first pick because guess what? CD Lamb fell right into the graces of us, fell right into our arms. And you just can't pass up on that type of talent. On top of that, you got to go with best player available. And that's the model. That's the flow. That's the groove. That is the nature of where the Cowboys went. And that's what I looked at and I said, man, now they're about that work action. Now they're about that business of going with the best player available and not drafting needs. Man, that model will work because it does not matter if you say to yourself, well, we got a Cooper, well, we got a Gallup. No, you go with best player available. If you think about it, last year we had, and this is not the draft, but last year we had, reliable Jason Witten, number 82, running some of the inside routes or what have you, the 5 hitch comeback, the button hooks or what have you, that's from the interior. And you sprinkle some of that stuff with a good old Randall Cobb. And just looking at this offense, sure along, Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Gallup, Jarwin, who can take pretty much the seam route and just make it his own baby. Take the seam route and make it his own baby. And you got this right here. This guy, I can't say number, but I can say CD, TD. Oh my goodness. Yards after catch. What was our issue last year? Some of the receivers or the tight end catching the ball and laying down. We love Cobb or what have you. He brought us a little bit of that yak action, but he was pretty much, he had to slowly get into the groove of things, slowly get into the pace of things, slowly get into the right direction of things. So that's how I'm looking at this particular team. I'm looking at it now that you remove Randall. Although I would love for to have him back on his team, but that's a story of a different day. But you remove Randall and you replace him with CD Lamb. Oh my goodness. That's all that guy does is just catch the ball, and then run with the ball. Their elusiveness, that awareness. And you got somebody who's similar to that already on your team, Michael Gehlken. You see how Michael Gehlken can catch the ball, squeeze, get small, and still squirt. And you say, man, how does this dude get off to the edge here? Well, how did he break that tackle and still get around? Newsflash, we got CeeDee Lamb that can do the exact same thing. But stories were told that he's even better at it. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. So we talked about the direction of this defense, being able to invest in the front four earlier in the previous weeks. Now they're talking about moving some people that used to just, we know for sure, this is where they're going to be lined up. Now they're talking about, oh, we're going to move this person now. Move them to the edge. Ooh, it smell good. Y'all smell that? It smell good, don't it? I know. When something look good and smell good, you know it tastes good. And oh, these victories are going to taste good. Think about it. It's going to taste good. Because now that we got the aspect of this right here, Chidobe Awuzie, everybody know what he can bring to the table. And you add the fact that Jordan Hip Pocket Lewis will be free. Jordan Lewis, they're going to probably look at Jordan Lewis and say, okay, where you want to be at? Where did you perform the best at last year or the year before that? What can we do to have you be around the ball a little bit more? Let's not put handcuffs on us. Let's not put training wheels on us. Let us not wear these safety goggles all the time. Let's unleash some things. Of course, everybody loves, hey, we want to play to protect the lead, or hey, we want to be able to bend but don't break. Let's break this thing a little bit in a good way. Let's have players to play with high confidence. Oh, let's go out there and grab a hilarious Dix, or let's go see what the Whirly's kid gonna do. Daryl, Whirl, you know what I'm saying? Whirly, let's see what he's going to do. Oh, let's get a Jaylon Smith. Let's pick him up. Let's see what he could do with a cup of coffee in his hand. Oh, Trayvon Diggs, that's all he does is just an aggressive. Let's get an aggressive corner. Let's get somebody that can play the ball and get on the ball and find the ball and seek the ball. Know where the ball at, feel the ball. Got a locator on the ball, a tracking of the ball. Let's get these things going. Oh, but Law, what about strong safety? That's okay. We can blitz a little bit more. When you blitz, you hide some of your inefficiencies. When you don't have a strong front four who can win, you blitz. When you don't have when you have a legitimate front four that can win and you need to have extra pressure, you blitz. and situations where you know that you're playing against a young or a greenhorn as it relates to a quarterback, you blitz. That's been the name of the game since the beginning of time. You figure out ways to put pressure on the quarterback. Your main goal is to get the ball right back to the offense. Oh, Law, what about this other secret sauce that you want to talk about? You know what I want to talk about, nation. Punt returns, kickoff returns. Do that ring a bell? Finally, a punt block. Can we get some of that? Field goal block. Can we get some of that? Special teams. Football is won in 3 phases, right? But the other phase that a lot of people don't talk about is the 4th phase, the hitting phase. That's coaching. Yes, there's 3 phases to a football game, but that 4th phase is that coach. To be able to look at a certain position or group or a team and say, okay, we want you guys to get better in these categories. There's no way if my name on it, if my name is on it, think about it. My name is my name. That's a Wires reference. If y'all watch that series, my name is my name. And if my name is on it, Dog it, we're going to do it my way. You can say Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. And that is why I really held Chris Richard's feet to the fire. That's why he deserved to get whatever he got. Because he didn't go out there and say, my name is on this thing. You didn't go out there and get me players that can identify with my skill set. Oh, you didn't go out there and say to yourself, this is what I need. Not no 6th and 7th round undrafted people that's long. I need somebody with talent. So he didn't bang on the table and say, okay, I wanted the Warren Thornhills of the world. Or he didn't bang on the table and say, let's go all out in the third for this particular guy. He didn't do that. And his name became his name. Washed away. Cast out. Protect your name. Protect your legacy. So, speak out to the things that you want to happen in this world. That's a prime example. People will remember you when you first get there and forget about you when you start losing, when you start not figuring out ways to win. Yes, I know that there was an interview out there with my dog, Clay Mack, and he trust me, him and D-Rob always open. They'd be right here in Texas working out with these wide receivers and defensive back and skills positioning guys. But Clay Mack, he went on the show with my girl, Jane Slater, and said, hey, it's technique. It's technique that was flawed. It's technique that was bad. And it's hard to overcome the technique that was taught to fit a certain scheme and versus allowing the players to do what they naturally can do. So I can say this, with the group of guys, the Maurice Lindquist and the Al Harris that we got now, they ain't gonna let this system or scheme get in the way. They gonna wanna figure out a way, whatever you do best to get that ball back in your hand. Don't worry about it, nothing else. Don't worry about it. Let's get this ball back to the offense. That should be the mindset of the defense. Let's get this ball back to the offense because I don't want it. I don't want it. Return to sender, basically. Hey, if you like this show, hit that subscribe button, share this thing. Let those friends, neighbor, foes know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Yes, hit that share button. Become Share Kings. Support the channel. The link should be in the description box, or you guys hear us calling it out all the time. Donations. Shout out to my dog, Big Game James, Skywalker Steel. Hey, we grinding, we growing this thing. If you got a Fire Stick TV, download Law Nation TV. If you got a Roku device, download Law Nation's TV. I got some things that's going to show up in the future that's not going to be regulated by the Facebooks of the worlds and the YouTubes and the Instagram. So I really appreciate those platforms to be able to put content there. Just check it out, subscribe early or download early. Let's continue to grind and shine, Cowboy Nation. And speaking of time, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to